dynamic and how hard it's going to be to get us to side with one versus the other with Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. They don't seem to be in a hurry to split them up, but we have seen the seeds planted as far as a breakup between the two. It's only a matter of time. They're running out of time to do this breakup that leads to a match at WrestleMania. So whether the breakup happens at WrestleMania or after WrestleMania or just before WrestleMania, there is definitely going to be a split between Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. What I had envisioned was that eventually the Usos were going to come to the aid of their little brother who got mixed up with a bad crew that was there to protect him as he tried to usurp the throne that was left empty from Roman Reigns. And then what ends up happening is that Solo reunites with the Usos to go against Tanga Loa, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu. Somewhere in between all of that speculation and theory on my part, the crowd became infatuated with Jacob Fatu, which makes it so much harder to buy into Solo Sikoa getting cheered in this regard. The crowd loves to boo Solo Sikoa and they love to cheer Jacob Fatu. So how do they do this? It's going to take a lot more than the Usos coming to the aid of Solo Sikoa. It might take a fist bump from Roman Reigns. It might take some stuff from LA Knight. They're going to have to really throw everything at this to get the crowd to cheer Solo over Jacob because they really want to cheer Jacob Fatu. And I can't see the crowd really booing Jacob, and I don't see it working where the Usos side with Jacob Fatu over Solo Sikoa and Tanga Loa and Tama Tonga. That is possible, but the way that the story is being written here, in my eyes, the way that I see it playing out, is that Solo reunites with his brothers and they go against the bad crew. That's how I see it going. But it'll be interesting to see how they play this out. And in all of this, Hikuleo, the other brother of Tama Tonga and Tanga Loa, is still swimming around, as is Zilla Fatu, the younger brother of Jacob Fatu, that is circling around as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they play that storyline out. But how I see it ending is eventually you get the bad crew and Jacob Fatu, Tanga Loa, Tama Tonga against the Usos and Solo Sikoa. But it'll remain to be seen how they go about that story. And finally, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns and their story. Now, CM Punk, throughout all of this, because it seems to be leading to a triple threat at WrestleMania, seems to me that we're going to get CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns in the same ring at the same time at WrestleMania. And then above all of that is the story, the CM Punk favor, and what is exactly that favor. So I'm going to let you know what I believe that favor is. And before I get to that, we're going to talk about Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and CM Punk and how this is going to be played out. Eventually, this is going to be something that cannot be contained on Raw and on SmackDown, and they're going to have to come together and figure this out. And I believe that's when we get to our triple threat. I think it's going to be a great match. I know a lot of people are indifferent about it because there's a lack of stakes involved. I think there can be still some huge stakes implemented in this match, whether it be number one contender, whether it be Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins with the winner facing CM Punk later on in that night. I mean, there's so many different ways that they can go about this. CM Punk, a historian. There's obviously the WrestleMania 10 story where it was Bret Hart against Owen Hart and Lex Luger against Yokozuna. And I mean, there was so many stories that went along with basically a one-night tournament to get to Bret Hart winning the WWF Championship at the end of WrestleMania 10. So there's ways that they can go about this. Callbacks to previous stories can be brought to the front here. But with the favor, in my opinion, for CM Punk, I think it is leading to CM Punk asking Paul Heyman, the wise man, to accompany him to the ring at WrestleMania for old time's sake. And in doing so, it's not a heel tactic. He's not, I mean, he could slightly be a kind gesture to Paul Heyman and a jab at Roman Reigns at the same time. But the way that it looks, it can be a sweet gesture. CM Punk it's his first WrestleMania back, and he would like Paul Heyman in his corner, and that's the favor that he's asking. that puts Roman Reigns at a disadvantage because now Roman is going to be coming out without Paul Heyman. That puts a little shift and tension between those two. It also puts a lot of momentum in Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins can build that up by playing the two against each other, and that can cause a lot of tension as well. They could also look to get at Seth Rollins being weaselly and trying to pit those two against each other. So it adds an interesting dynamic into that triple threat match. But that's how I see it going in that regard. Now, on the other side of that, I do see Roman Reigns winning the triple threat currently. If CM Punk is going to be accompanied by Paul Heyman in this match, Paul Heyman might cost CM Punk inadvertently or on purpose this triple threat match, giving Roman Reigns the win. That is something that we need to pay attention to as well. But these are all stories, pivotal top stories that I've been watching in the WWE that I just wanted to give my 2 cents on and let you know where I see them playing out. There are countless other stories that are being built up in the WWE, and I really love the fact that they're doing the work of putting in the details and taking their time to build all this up. So I thought I would spend a little time with you guys to go over these 4 storylines and where I see them going and how I see them playing out. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thumbs up on the way out, you guys. If you don't mind, hit the subscribe button. It is free. It costs you nothing, and it can give you access to more and more videos as I drop them from the portal of pro wrestling. So until next time, you guys, I'm the Wrestling Old Head saying, stay tuned for more. I'll see you next time, you guys.